Hello, in this video we'll be covering how you, the New York City DOE teacher, can get set up on Google Classrooms to start assigning work for your students. Great, so to get started, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to a blank new tab, and to get started with Google Classrooms you'll want to go to classroom.google.com. Now that's the URL you will visit as the teacher. It's also the URL your students will visit to get to Google Classrooms. And once here, I'm just going to go to the Sign In menu over here on the right, and I'm going to sign into Google Classroom. Now to get started, I'm going to use my schools.doe account, and then it'll bring me right to this page from Google Classrooms that works with the NYCDOE domain. So once I'm here, I'm going to click in my username, which is just my email without the everything after the @ symbol, and then I'm just going to put my password in as well. And I'm going to click sign in. And that will take you directly to your Google Classrooms homepage. Now you can see I already have one classroom set up, and in this tutorial we're going to set up a brand new classroom and assign work to students. Great. So to get started, in the top right hand corner there's this plus sign. I'm going to click that plus sign. Now I can either join a class that another teacher has created, or I can create my own class. I'm going to create a class here, and I'm going to call this class second period class. I'm not worried about a section or a room number or anything like that right now since it is remote learning, so I'm just going to put the name in right now. Create. It'll just take just a moment for Google Classroom to create this class. And there we go. So we have a class set up. Some helpful things here from Google popping up. I'm just going to X out of it. And we have a few different features in here. So that's getting your first classroom set up. Now I want to cover some basic features of Google Classroom, specifically some of these tabs up here. And the first tab we're going to cover is the People tab. So I'm going to click right into the People tab. And the People tab in Google Classroom is how you invite other teachers or students to your class. So right now I'm the only teacher in the class, and if I have a co-teacher I can go up here to this little plus sign and invite a teacher, and I can just type in their email, and that teacher will have some of the same access as me. Now next thing here is the students. Students get added in a very similar way. If I click this little plus sign here, I can add students one at a time using their email. And now this is really important. The students and the teachers that you add to your account need to be in the same domain as you. So let's say you're working in a school and your email address is at ps123.org. You will only be able to add teachers and students also in that at ps123.org. Now there is an exception to that, and that's the reason why I logged in with my school's email account. And so when you're using the DOE email account, you actually can invite teachers with that same account, or you can add students with their new at nycstudents.net account. So let's see what that looks like. So if I want to add a student, and this student is a at nycstudents.net, and obviously your student wouldn't be A, but it would be their name. So I'm going to click on that student and invite them. Great, and now we can see an invitation has been sent to the student's inbox, and when they click on it, they will actually be sent right to this class. Now let me show you what it looks like if you try to invite someone with a different domain. So if I do a at gmail.com, let's say, and I try to invite them to the class, I get an error here from Google. It says cannot invite student to this domain. So that just shows you they have to be in the same domain as you. The only exception to that is if you are an at schools email account, then you can also add at schools emails and at nycstudents.net. So that's one way to add students, is have them join one at a time by inviting them through their email. Another way to do that is to go back over here into what's called the Stream tab. This is kind of like the home page to your website. So now that we've covered the People tab, we're ready to cover the Stream tab. And at the Stream tab, you'll see something called a class code. Now this is the class code for my class. You don't want to copy down this class code because that's specific to this class. Instead, when you set up a Google Classroom, you will get your own class code. And what you can do is you can share that code with your students, and they can actually just type in that code when they go to classroom.google.com. They'll be asked to join a class. They can type in that class code. So two different ways for someone to join. They can either get the class code, or you can do it through the People tab. The next tab we want to cover, we're already in, is the Stream tab. So the Stream tab, think of the Stream tab like a Facebook page. It kind of just has all the updates from the class. So if I want to share something with the class, I can say, Happy Tuesday, and I can post it. And every student now, when they go to classroom.google.com, they go to their second period class, they'll see Happy Tuesday right in front of them. So the way this class is currently set up is any teacher or any student can post to the stream, and stream just a new post goes on top of the old one. So Happy Wednesday. I'll post that. You can see there's the most recent post. Here's the one before that. Now, anyone can post, any teacher, any student in the class. So I know that might be concerning for some people who think about students being able to post anything they want here. So I want to show you how to change the settings in Google Classroom. So I can edit that feature so that only teachers can post to the stream if that's what you would like to do. And I can do that by clicking this little wheel up here, which is the settings menu. There's a few settings here, but the one I'm most interested in is this stream setting here. It says students can post and comment. I'm just going to edit that. Only teachers can post and comment, and I'm going to save that. Great. Now only teachers can post to there on the stream. That is the Stream tab, and now the next tab we're going to cover is the Classwork tab. Now the Classwork tab is probably the most confusing tab, but you'll spend a lot of your time in it when you're creating assignments and quizzes and everything. Now, when you're looking at Google Classrooms as a student or a teacher, it looks very, very similar. And actually, when a student goes into a Classwork tab, the only thing that will be different is this black button here that says Create. That's only available to the teacher. So let me look at this button here. If I click Create, first thing I'm going to create is a new topic. And topics are like the different courses you might be teaching within this class. So I'm going to have a math topic. I'm going to have a science topic and a history topic. So I click Create, Topic, History. Great, and you can see them here. I can even shuffle them around if I want, different things to be higher than others. I'm going to put history back at the top. So that was creating a topic. The next thing we're going to create is an assignment. So you're going to want to assign work to your students through Google Classroom, and let's get started with an assignment. We're going to call this one the history paper. So that's the title of the assignment, history paper. And instructions, let's see, a quick little instruction will be write a one-page paper on USA history. There we go. And just over here on the right-hand side, I want to make sure I do this for my second period class. All students are going to be doing this, so if I had 30 students in the class, every student will be assigned this paper. You can differentiate. If I had a whole bunch of students in the class, they'd be listed here, and I could say that maybe only half the students get assigned this one, but I'm going to assign for all students. I'm going to make a due date for this. Let's do the end of the month. And topic, so I want to put this in the history topic. I can also add a rubric, but I'm not going to do that just now. Okay, now the next thing that we do, now we have a title and instructions and all this stuff, we are going to we're going to create a Google Doc within this assignment that students will write right into. So this create button here, if you're familiar with Google Drive, you'll see all these tools are built right into Google Classroom. We got docs, slides, sheets, all these different things. Since this is a paper, I'm going to create a Google Doc, which will take just a moment. and Google Classroom has actually brought me into a brand new tab here to have this document. So instead of students getting started with a blank document and having them save it wherever they know, we're actually going to have a document that we give them, so everything's saved in the right folder and is formatted the way we want it. So this document, I'm going to rename it to history paper, and I'm just going to provide some stuff for the students to get started. Do instructions again here. Write a one-page paper on the history of the USA. There we go. So now this document is a pretty simple one. It's got a heading for the students for them to get started, but it could be as complicated as any handout that you might have made in the past. And it's here in Google Drive, in Google Documents. So now I'm just going to go back into Google Classroom. You can see my documents attached here. It hasn't been updated yet with the name, but it will once I save this assignment. And the most important feature here is right here. It says students can view file. The way this is set up right now, it allows students in my class to go to the history paper and look at this document, but they can't do anything else with it. Now that's not what I want. What I want to do is similar to what I would do in a classroom if I'm handing out a piece of paper to every single student. I want each student to have a copy of that document that they can edit on their own. And the way we do that is with this little drop down arrow here, make a copy for each student. So again, this is like creating a copy for each student in your class and handing it out to them. And it will even actually, one thing Google Classrooms does that's really cool is it actually takes the name of this, so history paper, it will make 30 copies of it, one for each student in your class, and then we'll even rename the start of this file with that student's full name. So it'll be their full name dash history paper. Really easy for you when you're grading it later. And then I'm going to click this black button up here, assign. And let's just take a second. So what it's doing is it's creating a copy for every student in the class. And it's here in the classwork tab. So here in the history topic, if I click on history paper, it's telling me that I've assigned it to 0 students and 0 students have turned it in. That's because I have no students in my class yet. But it'll actually tell me, it will update as students turn in their files, how many of them have done it, and I can actually grade it right in this this category here. So if I click view assignment, my students in my class would be here, and I can click into they'll have a little icon for each student. I can click on their face and it'll actually show me their Google document so that I can even grade it and mark it up. Okay, great. So in this tutorial, I'm going to go back to my classes window. We covered how to get onto Google Classroom using your DOE email account, and remember that is classroom.google.com. We created a classroom. We can actually see now that I've got both my classes right here. Go back into second period class. We covered how to invite teachers and students into your class. We covered the stream, which is again like the Facebook wall where you see everything that is going on in the class. And you can even see here now, Google Classrooms has automatically posted this assignment that I created. We covered the settings tab, and we covered the classwork tab.